Oh shit, my microphone was not on, was it? Okay, now it is. All right, so when you guys were watching my lips move, what I was saying was that I was 1 minute late because I was talking to a friend of mine named Dusty Burse, who I did a lot of time with. Dusty is doing very well in life, has a lot of negative things to say to me. No, not yes and no. And anyway, he just said, out of all people that would get out after having a life sentence and go back even on a violation, I just never would have saw it. Yeah. Anyway, so how you guys doing? I'm doing. Let me go back and let's just see a few comments. So somebody wrote and said that that kid, and I just talked to him recently. What's up, David? I'm doing okay. Um, Luke, Luke GTV or whatever. Somebody said that he overdosed, and had I not got the phone call, what's up? Good to see you again and keep it coming, Robert. Yes, sir. Jeff, what's up? Hey, Rob Assassinino, what's going on? David, how you doing, buddy? I can hear you now. Okay, everybody can hear me now. Damn it, Mandy. Rob, GTSY, good to see you. Okay. Greg Parrish, you didn't get blocked. Uh, I'll explain. I haven't gone to court yet, and I'll explain it. Let the games begin, Todd. Dan and assess. Okay. Tommy, Dan, Mandy, Assassinino. Will Hardstock, what's up? Tommy, Travis Drury, what's up? Michael Amari, Bella Rose, and Todd. Okay, yeah. So the other night, what was it? A couple nights ago, I was going to do a live. Matter of fact, I saw it still up there, and I got to delete it. About USP Leavenworth. My guest canceled out. I think there was 20 or 30 minutes, and I was stuck. Then I talked to another YouTube content creator that I haven't talked to in a million years, and I was going to go on, and then I got another phone call, and I had something to do for like an hour and a half paperwork. Anyway, so people are asking about updates. So that's why I came on, decided to do that. By the way, I'm snowed in. Well, I mean, you can drive, but I'm snowed in, and probation is going to love when I say this. My vehicle is broke down once again. That doesn't mean I can't show up for drug urine test, and that doesn't mean that I'll find court on Thursday. So people have been asking me to give updates and stuff. That's why I'm here. So last time I came on, I announced that I had an upcoming court date. It was scheduled for last Wednesday. That court date was put off actually because my attorney had a personal problem in her family, medical emergency, I believe. So at that time, also, I said that my bladder cancer, which has reoccurred, I have one tumor, one or two tumors. What is it now? I saw a report. And it was scheduled for December the 10th. And at the last minute, the cardiologist stopped it. He wouldn't clear me. I was not supposed to get the cardiologist stress test results back until like next week. They came back. The doctor came back. I was up on top of his list, and I got cleared. So now I have a bladder cancer or surgery to remove the bladder cancer set for Friday. So I go to court Thursday. Court had no knowledge that this new appointment came up, but then they came back Friday and I scheduled it. It's early morning anyway. So I don't know how that's all going to play out. We're going to see. So that's where I'm at on that. And of course, my car broke, which nobody is familiar with this. I bought a vehicle a couple of years ago for very cheap, 1,500, 1,700. And I've probably got like 6 grand into it now for breaking down. It's usually the same problem. It is the same problem once again, which is alternator. This time I have a warranty on it. Well, I did last time too, but they find ways. And this is going to be a radiator too. This is going to be this is going to be something else. But I have a tow truck coming to get it on Tuesday morning already. What else? Let me go ahead and see some of this. Doctor's appointments are terrible. Yeah. Mob rats exposed. Is that a Civil War photo? No. So, and I said this last time. What can you guys see? Okay, over here are my grandparents, my nanu nana, my mom's mom and dad. There's a wedding photo behind them that's just it's of the whole of the bride and groomsmaids or whatever, the whole wedding party. That picture's awesome. Somebody offered me $1,000 for that photo, by the way. The dress is all homemade and stuff. This behind me is either my grandfather's mother or his stepmother. When he was young, his mother died, and my great great grandfather remarried, and I'm not sure which one that is. Rough, it's hardcore. And I think it's the original grandmother because from what I remember, her name was Katie. That was the lady my great great grandfather married. I believe she had Native American blood in her. I believe. Um, MRE, I have reached out. I love old pics. Yeah. Oh man, you should see some of the stuff I had or have. I say that, wishing you the very best. Okay. And I don't know what's been going on with you, MRE. Love them 1800s. Yeah, for sure. Old pictures. So I should probably change the title of this to famous mob attorney invokes Carmine Persico to do the right thing. So here's what's going on. Um, I don't want to bore everybody totally with the legal argument. That's not. I can bring this up and talk about it now. People will say this is for the courtroom. It's not bad. It's not. I'll just be candid and tell you what I've been going through. So when I went in front of this judge the last time, I filed an appeal, not based on anything to do with him, based on a jurisdictional argument, and that is that not the Senate Judiciary, the Judiciary Conference, I believe it was called, last year noted that judges, when granting compassionate release, may not be able to enforce a penalty. I know it sounds crazy, but in a nutshell, that when a judge gives you supervised release time, when you're let out on compassionate release, the judge gives you supervised release time, which my judge did, that there is no statute that allows the judge to then enforce a penalty should the person, in this case being me, violate. Um, it came out also in the U.S. probation officers' journals, really in depth about it. And I've lost the argument on appeal in the Eighth Circuit because I didn't bring it up in the courtroom. Now, it's made it very clear that I thought that I was going to get a high end penalty when I go back to court. Um, Nobody knows what the judge is going to think. I mean, the judge is going to do. Nobody does. My attorney, even though she was a clerk for a long time, my probation officer, who they're they all close. They're the judge's enforcement, so to speak. So nobody knows. And I was just basing what I feel off of reading the transcripts from the last hearing. My judge was thorough in everything he did and had to say. I've never seen a judge like that. Um, very much hopes that I do the right thing, um, and has been lenient, and so is probation. So, believing that I'm going to get messed out, and know, knowing in my heart I'm going to go to prison, I should say, or believing in my heart, um, I then started thinking about prison and things I'm going to do in prison. What am I going to do this time? Am I going to do anything different? I wrote 3 manuscripts last time. They're still in there. They're complete. Need to be redone. 3. I haven't done anything. Thinking about, do I find a way to send those back into work on them? No, I'll do something else. But one of the things is legal work. So if I need something to do, I was thinking about setting up for my appeal, but I would have to bring that up in court first. The argument has never been argued, and I reached out to Matthew Mary, who has a YouTube channel called oh man, oh my god, I just drew a blank. Uh, Mulberry Street. Somebody's going to tell me in here. So Matthew first came into my life back when I had Vinny Geritano on. And Vinny Geritano was criticizing, calling one of his clients, who I believe is active in the Gambino family, a rat. I'm not going to say the guy's name, but I got what 17 phone calls, death threats. If I air the Vinny Geritano tapes, that I was going to have problems. Well, Matt was one of them that said something that caused me to write back or reach out back at him. And after many words back and forth, we ended up becoming, or I wouldn't say friends, but somebody I can go to talk to. I reached out to him about this argument that I'm bringing up, and I know I'm boring some people. And he was livid. Now, this is a high-profile mob attorney, okay? And I go to him and send him all the paperwork just to ask for some advice. Again, I'm not concrete in my decision. I'm searching for the right thing to do. Um, and Matt came back. I was going to read a few things. Yeah, okay, okay. Did I? Oh man, did I? I think I. Okay, can't stop what I'm doing now with other people. Okay, let's see. Where does he start? Okay, so I sent him the argument. Okay, this legal argument I was getting at. And he wrote back and said, "What are you trying to say? That the judge, by his own words, is limited in his ability to send you back to jail. He knows what he said and he knows what you have done. I would thank him for all his patience and kindness and focus on the only thing that you have going for you, that you have life threatening health issues." Okay, so the cancer thing, which has already been addressed. Okay, that if you're allowed to stay out. Okay, so he's saying perhaps you're going to stay out and deal with the cancer situation. You have to abide by all the rules of supervision and attend programs. Period. Okay, so I come back at him and I said, okay, no, I understand what you're saying. And during my first revocation hearing, I thanked him and I'll thank him again. And it's not about my judge. This is the message I was trying to get across. And Matt didn't budge. All of those legal arguments should have been made on paper by your lawyer long before now. Those arguments obviously speak for themselves. If that was not done on paper by now, your judge is likely to remand you and direct you to make your arguments from jail or just bang you out and tell you to appeal. Is your argument on paper and in front of the judge? Okay, so now I thought he was okay. Now I got his ear about the legal argument itself. And so I wrote back a long response and he came back harder. uh, do you think your lawyer is a complete a hole? Has your lawyer had experience with your judge? Clerk. Are you smarter than your lawyer? Consider those questions. Also consider what your choices have been. Why have a lawyer if you don't trust her? Why do you think you're smarter than her? What is your track record? I wrote back 17 people out of prison, wrote my first brief, blah, blah, blah. Like I gave my track record and kind of letting him know that I'm not, when it comes to law, I don't know a whole bunch. I'm outdated. I haven't practiced in a couple of years, or what I'm saying, kept up with the current law, but I'm capable and I see an argument, but I'm unsure. That's all I was trying to get at him. And put yourself in the judge's position, stand in his shoes, and tell him what tell him, okay, give him what's in you in your heart, not the law. Okay, so then he knows that I was close with Carmine Person. Okay, so well, I'll get right into what he said about Carmine Persico. Carmine was always right. It's like he had a crystal ball in front of him. Since you knew him so well, and I know you did, what would he tell you differently from what I have said? Would he be smiling right now and telling you to act like a man and take the consequences? Put yourself in the shoes of the judge and tell him and speak from the heart. So I thought a lot about this. Carmine Persico. Carmine Persico is a fighter. He fought the law. He didn't give up the whole way. And then it dawned on me. Carmine was so anti-drug. As a matter of fact, I was the soberest I've ever been. Um, for the longest period of time when I was with Carmine and Joey Testa. Um, in this situation, Carmine would tell me to go in front of the judge and say, "I'm sorry," whatever comes from my heart. And that got me. When he put that, it really got me. And then to top it off, he comes back and he brings up God. Um, for some of you that don't know, I what is a spiritual awakening the right word? I'm not really sure. Uh, I had shut religion and God out completely since 1997. The entire time I was in federal prison, almost 24 years, not a prayer. And as a Catholic growing up, you automatically go to prayer, especially in the time of need, laying down at night, scared, whatever the deal was, in trouble, you automatically go. I did not even do that, not one time. Then I went to rehab in September and ran across a counselor. Was not mine, and I talked to all the counselors, all of them in there. And he is a spiritual guy, doesn't believe in religion necessarily, but brought something up to me that just was profound and changed my entire course when it comes to spirituality and religion. Um, my wife has been active in the church, volunteering and stuff like that. So, long story short, is I went, and the first day that I went, I heard a priest named Father John, whose book I've been reading last few days, by the way, and changed everything. The Catholic church I grew up um, in California. This is different. This is Fort Smith. It's the biggest Catholic church in Fort Smith. But the temple, the upbeat, the mass itself, it all is different, all changed. And even though I don't go for purposes of Catholicism or religion, I've enjoyed going, and I would have gone today, as a matter of fact. The snow, so it's not. I can drive in the snow, but in the car. But anyway, so Matt brings God up into it, and just it was a double whammy. As a matter of fact, I had to go back to my probation office and drop off some paperwork. And when I walked in, I'd just been hit with these messages, and I was just, man. So I'm not for sure the decision. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to do. Um, by the way, my lawyer cusses at me. I'm the victim, and she doesn't want to hear anything I have to say, pretty much. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. I don't know which way that's all going to go. I mean, I made it clear what I thought, but as far as arguments, also there's another legal argument that came to light, and that is everybody or people that follow me might know that I was sentenced to life without parole based on the quantity of drugs I sold and my prior convictions. It was equivalent of a three strike law. Okay. It's called an 851 enhancement. Well, my prior convictions are no longer any good under the same law that granted judge authority under compassionate release to release me, and under the same law that he reduced my time to 25 years. So, really, if you put two and two together, it probably should have 15 years. Why that matters is because if I have 15 years, that means I have 10 years good time vested, and that would eat up any jail time, supervised time, whatever. I do believe, again, I'm not fully sure about it, that I have not shepherdized or researched the law on it. I brought it to his attention, and again, he didn't want to hear it. So, going into court, there's a number of violations. The most serious ones are the dirty urines, and but there's a bunch of other ones that I don't necessarily agree with. And I want to bring some stuff up, but in the long run, I don't think it really matters. So I need to put that report out. By the way, I said that last time because that's what the goof troop is going to be hinging on. Reading those like they did last time. But we'll see. Otherwise, I had a great job that I liked a lot that I no longer have because of my personal life. Meaning, if I was able to not miss work 2 days next week, my boss would allow me to go to work. Of course, now the car issue happened. Um, but it's not like I'm not in good grace with them or can't call them. If I had just the court date or just my search next week, I'd be able to go back. But I told them last week that I was going to go to jail on Wednesday, and I took a day off. Yeah, personal reasons. That they're slow, but they're super slow. The company is slow, so they're just trying to keep people working. Get them a paycheck. So I understand it. And again, today was the kibosh with the car, and it's just like holy moly. My wife told me that I had demons in me. Of course, everybody that has addiction issue knows that, but I think she wanted me to have like an exorcist to get rid of the said demons. I think. Um, I'm just saying that. Anyway, let me answer some stuff right now. Okay. Shoot, you guys are way back here. How about them Cowboys? Zach, why not? It's like hurting anyone else. What's their okay? I'm going to ask you guys something, and let's be respectful. And I'm not saying to me just to the comments because you. Here's the deal: if a person is violating probation, parole, or supervised release, which is kind of like state parole on steroids, that's my take on it. What should the penalty be for dirty urines? He abused his wife. Oh, you guys are talking about something different. Meaning, I have talked to many friends that I did time with. Let me back up. After my last hearing, there's guys that are going to watch this that know I stopped communicating with everybody that I did time with. One or two I did, but I used to correspond with a lot. They're all on Facebook, by the way. Law enforcement probably loves that because everybody that's done time is all together on Facebook, which is crazy stupid, but whatever. Um, Recently, in the last week, I have reached back out to a lot of those people, seeing who's in, seeing who's out, different stuff. And I've asked everybody the same question. Should I go back to prison? So I use myself, or just any example. So let's just say there's 10 dirty urines. Last time there was a bunch. This time there's a bunch. Some happened, a lot happened before rehab, but whatever. Period. Should a person be sent back to prison? And I'm not. There's no right or wrong answer. Like I'm not mad if you say that I should be fried, but I'm just saying be respectful. Just to the comment section, just not stupid stuff. And I mean that. So what's your belief on that? On one hand, addiction is a disease, blah blah blah. We can get off into that. On the other hand, supervised release has rules. I believe those rules are outdated. However, what's then the solution? And let me tell you something. Let's say I talk to 10 people. 60% believe that prison is on the right. I'm not going to say necessary, mandatory, but given the current law, and that's surprising because these are guys that some of them violated for dirty urines. Some of them got their lives together, but it was surprising just to have those conversations. And like I said, my feelings weren't hurt. I'm genuinely, wanting to know for myself, for future things I say, criminal justice reform, whatever. Speaking of criminal justice reform, tonight I'm going to do another live, unless it's a video. It's going to be about the fentanyl crisis and Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll testified in front of Congress or the Senate, and I just watched it, all of it, earlier, and I have some things I want to say about the fentanyl crisis. And I'm going to go ahead and do that live tonight. So if you guys have anybody that's been that's died, that's been affected, impacted by the fentanyl crisis, most of us have, and you're bored at 9 o'clock, 10, well, maybe I'll do it. If I do, I'll do it at 8 o'clock. Well, it's probably going to be 9 Central, so it'll be 10. But if anybody can jump on and join me, I'd like to hear your opinions and thoughts on that. I know quite a bit about it from a whole bunch of different angles, and I'm going to talk about it. Even okay, well, I'll leave that for later. But yeah, that's where I'm at there. Let me see what's up. I think you're doing good and trying to get healthy and working. You have a good argument. Thank you. Even I don't know how to say it. It's backwards. Mike, it's like tremendous beating. The wife will make people say she loves him and forgives him. Why I hate him for that? Mob rats exposed. Let me see what you guys are talking about back here. Okay, you guys are talking about cow. Okay, I think on top. Hey, there's soda's bad for you. Everything I eat right now is bad for me for real. And let me tell you, um, I said this the other day, and I'm saying it again. My addiction to food is crazy. It happens like what happens like I do drugs. The other day, I actually got up and got sick in the middle of the night, and it's fucking nuts. If they're sick now, I don't think used or the man problem and that's not go to jail. Addiction is a disease, Robert, and I'm sure you know, and hopefully the authorities give you a break. The Westies, authorities have been really lenient. I thought it would. Okay, so I don't know the actual numbers on this, but I was at the parole office the other day. I hereby sentence you life without parole for being a scumbag, Tom Morrissey. Thank you. Um, you knew the rules, you chose to break them. Nico, IRA on Facebook. I respect that. Everyone makes mistakes. It's what you do after those mistakes. So let me back up here for a second. Addiction is they gave me a break. So I was in the room with four probationers or supervised release, whatever you want to call us. And I I'm not the only one that's gotten a break on a lot of dirties. And I'm not taking anything away. So please, government officials, that doesn't mean I'm saying that I looked into it more and found out the number of dirties I got and is not well. I don't think it's normal whatsoever because I know guys have gone back on four, and five in front of a different judge for sure. I know that. But the number, I was surprised. This one guy had eight, another guy had nine, another person knew somebody that went back on eight, eight straight. So it's different, all over the place. Now I had a bunch before, but that doesn't count anymore because it was a new hearing. But I have. As far as the rules and knowing when to break them, this last my relapse after rehab was deliberate and intentional, and it was very stupid. But yeah, and then of course, um, so in order to relapse, you already have to be in a state of mind. Even though I was sober, um, other issues in my life caused me to blow. And I say blow, I was like, I did it like intentionally with the intent to go back to prison, is what I said during that conversation that I had that led that. Stupid. But that's what happened. And there wasn't a craving. It was like a fu. And my counselor said it best. I drank poison, hoping the other person would die. Man, that was so on point. It's crazy. Zach, are you saying that I'm going to be impeached? Todd, okay. Let's see, Todd. Let's see. Let me see what you guys said. I hereby sentence you life for me. Okay. Everyone makes mistakes after those mistakes. Todd, well, that was an exaggeration, but he should get violated. Okay, Zach, I hear that. Rob, you seem like you have a good heart. Keep grinding. Johnny, thank you. He will be Zach. He will be in PC. You know that. So PC. Feds don't have PC per se. Like the state systems, you have to request it. Now, I'm a care level 3, and I have been to Butner FCI 1, which you can consider a PC yard. That's where Carmine Persico and Joey Testa were. And there's about, I don't know, about 20 to 50 good guys. That means no paperwork, not dropping out, all that stuff. About 50 that squeak that get put there for different reasons. I got put there because I had SEPs at other places in Butner, and I had to stay in the complex because of my bladder cancer. I would never in a million years request PC under any circumstances, none whatsoever, none. But if it makes you feel better to believe that, it's cool. Balls are eating sweet and delicious meatballs. Why PC? He's in a medical facility. Seems like a terrible way to spend taxpayer dollars at. Yeah, Jelly Roll testified in front of Congress, but going on social media glamorizing, getting hot. Ah, Assassinino. Let me take this chew out. Very good. Assassinino hit that. So I'm gonna wait till tonight. And I love Jelly Roll. So if you guys don't know, I did time with Struggle Jennings. That's Jelly Roll's dude. I was not friends with Struggle. He was close with friends of mine. And at one point, when I discovered Jelly Roll, was when I was in rehab back in December, and somebody saved me that song. It's been out a while, but I would not listen to white rap. I would not listen to white rap. And that comes from being in prison for a long time and having white TVs and white tables and white chairs. And when I heard Jelly Roll, I started listening. I listened to him constantly. Still, Struggle I like a lot. Um, but I was going to get with a friend of mine and try to have him put me with Jelly Roll. That was not. I mean, I was right there. There, they talk like one of the guys. There's two of them. One of them talks to Struggle regularly, so it wasn't far fetched idea. So then I started listening to interviews, watching interviews of Jelly Roll, where he just got off the plane, he was drunk, and I wasn't sure, is this guy clean or is he using and partying? What's the deal? So today I was watching and surprised the hell out of me that he's for tougher penalties. Well, he didn't say that. He walked a fine line, but I'm going to address the fentanyl stuff because there's a few bills out, but there's one that's really making traction. And well, I'll talk about that. I'll talk about that later for sure. For sure. But Assassinino, there, I mean, you hit that. Okay, Travis, I can put the comments up, man. I keep forgetting that. I don't believe any nonviolent drug offender should be in prison, but mandatory rehab. Prison doesn't help person or society. Okay, I've been to rehab twice within a year's time. Let's see. Last December was the first time of 22, and then in September of this year, and failed both times. Like, that's what you'd say, failed both times. So then what does the court do? Prison in America is a business. It's not helping anyone. Boom. Yes, it is. I don't know if I'm on for sure. Now we can go down a different path on that one, but 100%. Um, if you look at the economic impact that our criminal justice system has, I remember it was 2011 or 12 at Butner FCI 2. I read an article. I think it was in the Times. I don't know. It broke down the economic impact that's law enforcement, judges, prisoners, prisons, and it was 11% of our economy hinges. 11% hinges on the whole criminal justice reform apparatus. And it's like, wow, for sure. And another thing, and I'll address that tonight, is what happens. So they're seeking more powers under this fentanyl stuff to go after crypto, to go after WeChat, I think it was called. And then what? They're going to get it more than likely because it's easy right now to demand something be done about the fentanyl crisis because it's a problem. It's a problem. But then we go overboard, or our government goes overboard. I didn't want that to come on right now. So I think people forget about the crack epidemic too and what was done there. And by the way, you know that meth penalties are far greater than other penalties. That's cocaine, crack, all of it, meth penalties. And yet, flooded with methamphetamine. Oh, by the way, I was going to start the show and say, live to you from Hartford, Arkansas, where it's never too old to start methamphetamine. And why would I say that? Because I was at the post office the other day and somebody in their 70s, who I remember from a long time ago, but not, started talking and said that they did meth last year. Like, I couldn't freaking believe it. Couldn't believe it, man. Crazy, 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 crazy. Okay. So my reps, 4 eyes better than none, assessing, wow. Hopefully he apologizes to the Zach talking about me. Oh, this guy's Zach's good. Okay. What does Yazoo even mean? Yazoo is Yozo. Okay, Yazoo's. I was gonna say it, Yazoo. I wonder the same thing. I'm already Piggy Town. Also means we're a game proud. What was that nurse trying to say? Okay, you guys are talking dots, dot, dot, dot. Prison won't help. Prison won't help. So you're saying prison won't help? No, prison will not. As far as rehabilitation, okay? Um, Prison is saturated with drugs. Not every prison, all prison systems are different. There are like prisons in the feds, thinking of USPs at any given time, but it's entirely different. Depends on the US attorney. It depends on the SIS, which is the intelligence agency. There's so many factors that depend on if the prison is totally flooded. Depends on who's there, comes in, gang wise, group wise. There's a lot of different factors. I have been worrying lately about getting it right in prison. So right now, and I said the other day, I'm in this weird spot because I got a job that I like, even though it's on hold right now because of everything that's going on. And there's one argument that I'm doing better in my life than I have since after the first year I got out. Can't really say that that first year was golden, even though I had problems, but everybody does. But then I started thinking about all the drugs in prison, and I'm going in under. I'm not going to get into that. There's issues in my life unresolved, still problems that are going to still be there when I go in, and am I going to be able not to do drugs? I listen. Things I think about constantly, constantly. And by the way, I realized what I am, besides an addict, is an overthinker. That's actually a term. And I was reading what overthinkers are, and I just was like, oh my God, that's what it is. My mind races and overthinks about every little thing, analyze every little word somebody says. It's just, yeah, yeah. Oh, yes, those kids. Okay. Amari, Mike, what does he say? Okay. Yo, fuck you. Lee is anti-rat. I don't even know these people afterward. Lee is anti-rat. Gas Money's, what's up, buddy? If anybody wants to donate, now would be a good time. Great to see you back in action. Thanks, Tom. Assassinino. Biggs. Rob, have you ever done the steps in A? Mike, I started doing the steps. I've never went through them all. I've never went through them all. Got a sponsor, had me write down a bunch of stuff, started. I mean, there's some basic ones, but actually do the step workbook and NA provides. No, I've never went through all the steps. No, I have not. No, I have not. And I'm not going to meetings right now. I have not been. Church has been in my life. Prayer. But and I believe in AA and I believe in NA. I do. So and it takes a person, it takes what's going on in their life. It is really they're just replacing social groups, kind of. I think you get addicted to AA and NA. I can. I know I can. I like it. I like it. I do. I really do. I do. So did Luke TV. He really did die, didn't he? AOC is a nut. That's in weed and all over. Fentanyl's in weed too. Never heard that one yet. The feds are the biggest drug dealers. Just look at Kensington. I don't know what Kensington is exactly, but so with the fentanyl stuff, well, I'll do that. I'll get into that tonight. Borders are wide open. Borders are wide. Forget what you guys see on the news. The borders are wide open. They've got apps for the borders. Yeah, apps. Know that for a fact. The longest inpatient rehab I've ever been in was 28 days. That's the norm. That's what insurance covers and stuff. And then I went into transitional. Well, I don't want to do that. It could be good. If you're sick, prison won't help, mental or physical. No, prison will not help Rob at all. You don't belong in prison. MRA, your mob acts exposed. Thank you. Play on that truth. So again, the court's hands are tied as to what they can do. There's something called sentencing factors. That's interesting. You know, try to be careful with everything, to be honest, and show your achievements out of it. If you're gonna get high, nothing can stop you. Somebody from getting high but themselves. Don't do that. I know to put that. Let's post that. I believe that. I believe that there's a lot more to triggers, and there's a lot more. I don't think. Well, I know for a fact someone doesn't need the urge to use. I just proved that, but that was out of being. He is not some wacko rich people or ribs him. He needs God and rehabilitation meetings and his wife. Thanks, Amari. Thank you. I'm an over twinker or twinker or tweaker. Say that too. Junkyard. Don't do that. Junkyard. You know, I knew a guy, one of my cellies in Leavenworth was named Junkyard. He would do it. One of the drugs. Kensington, zombie land where the drugs are legal. I don't know where that's at still. I know that there's places that are legal in Oregon, and now because of the fentanyl stuff, people are saying that that is wrong. So fentanyl has destroyed the criminal justice reform. It has hurt it so bad because there's now people clamoring for more get tough policies. And we've never got out of our system the amount of years they give people, not just for drugs, for so many different things. We've become conditioned to say they're only going to do 5 years. Wow, 5 years is a long freaking time. If you do it, you become lefty. No, Rob, just saying it's okay. No problem. Oh, that's the bottom. Okay. Shrink or shrink, something like that. You can watch the 24-hour cam on the streets, and when people pass out, really? Okay. So Kensington are we talking about in the United States? Tell me where Kensington is, by the way, real quick. Okay. Yeah, that's Buffalo everything. I think we all lost friends. Okay, let me go back now. I think we lost friends, family to yes, fentanyl. Hope. Mark, thank you. Oh, it's in PA. Okay, I got you. I got you. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Todd and Montauk. Lefty shoved the barrel of his 9 mm up. Lefty, what happened on only? I don't know if this is a joke or what. Kensington is a junkyard. Of course. Okay, I got it. I got it. Don't do that. I'm looking. What Lefty? Are you talking about the guy Lefty on YouTube? Used to be on. Mark Giglio. I was trying to figure out how to pronounce. Man, I'm horrible at pronouncing names. Just horrible. Sometimes I got it together. Most of the time, no. A priest used to say church. Mustang Mike, my priest used to say church about addiction. Eventually, you're going to get sober. I just hope you're alive to enjoy it. Yeah, especially now with the fentanyl stuff being mixed in everything. Okay, Assassinino, 15 minutes away. They should not put you back in the Fed. They need to get you help somehow, some way, bro. David. The argument would be that they've used every tool in the toolbox. Travis. Travis. There's nothing more true than what you just said here. I went to rehab this time and I did the deepest dive I think anybody can do on themselves with the help of counselors. Wrote letters to people that were deceased. Really did a dive back into my childhood. What caused the anxiety, fear, blah, blah, blah. I mean, and I've got it. I've got it down. Learned tools that I can use when I have cravings. Got it down. But there's something else missing for sure. And I mean, I know what it is. I'm not going to get into it, but that's self created. And of course, the financial stress. I've been living in this financial hell due to my own bad actions and gambling primarily that has just destroyed me. And I continue, I can't dig my way out of it. I cannot. And it's just a man, just a huge problem. Uh, okay, hold on, let me see. Sending person. Thanks, the Westies. Everything is laced on. Rob Jared Kensington is where Chad has gone a few times and makes videos and says he cannot believe what he sees and drops his bat. I'm the guy that said use tons of drug. Okay, I got you. Boss Ranch, I got you. Thank you. You called tranquiller. Oh yeah, there's other tranquilizers. I think. Mark, does the airport drive you crazy? Being addicted to Tony Pizza can cause homelessness. Yes, Montauk, but that was a lifetime ago. It's all different everywhere. Many folks on here are completely addicted to Tony Pizza. Okay. Ombre, yeah, I'm feeling better. I don't have good days or bad days. I have bad moments when I think about when my things start just going nuts. Pizza's like crack cocaine to them and Rizza. So 7 minutes. I'll stay on a little longer because I'm going to come on later for the fentanyl stuff or do a video. But probably my intent is to come on. First of all, shooting the videos are a pain because of the stand that I have. Whatever. I like lives better. But if you guys can come on tonight, 9 o'clock Central, about the fentanyl crisis, um, and give your input or anything you want to say, join me for sure. Otherwise, let me see. Let's stay in Florida now. Not all the fans, kids, and adults. As a kid and money as an adult. Bless. I'll be there, Travis. Thank you. I don't know. He's a different channel every week. I can't keep up. Okay, look, I'm gonna go ahead and get off right now. I appreciate you guys being here. Wanted to give the update because people asked. I figured, okay. And tonight I'm gonna go on with the fentanyl stuff. I appreciate it. I'll see you soon.